All right. Happy New Year and welcome back to the podcast. We have our first episode of the new year, episode 23
For 2023.
for 2023. We may or may not, again, purposely plan that. And
Who's to say?
Who's to say us? We've said it twice now.
Yeah.
But welcome back. We hope everyone had a good holiday, and we went downtown. We had some fun for New Year's.
We did. Went to Red Wings game.
Ultimately, though, we did watch the ball drop in our hotel room.
We did do that.
But, one thing that I think a lot of people did, like we did, we watched Miley's Rockin' Eve, or whatever it's called, over the original New Year's Live ball drop.
Good.
Which this was a first for us.
It was a first. It was also a first for them not being able to drink. And I just don't think that's fun for anyone. Nobody needs those kinds of rules on, bless you, New Year's Eve. People want to have fun. We want to party. We want to see the party. And that's why we watched Miley.
We want to watch people having fun. But we also may or may not have tuned in to Miley's Rockin' Eve to see if the rumors that have been swirling around are true about Dolly Parton wearing hand gloves.
I think
you
it's
saw
true.
that?
I saw it. And you could have seen it too.
I could have seen it too. But the original rumors started because people thought she was wearing hand gloves because a lot of people can see, like, say you can see your age in your hands first.
Mm-hmm.
So they thought she was doing it for that. Then I heard that she was doing it to cover tattoos.
Could be.
But I missed my real chance to confirm that in real life because she was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but we didn't watch her perform. There was like trailers like in the back, so that's where I was, and I didn't get to see it, so I cannot confirm or deny in real life. However, apparently, when my dad was performing, she was like in the front, because like she had just like did her thing. And I couldn't see because I wasn't tall enough, and she's not very tall, so I couldn't see. But supposedly she was like up there dancing.
Heck yeah!
And so
we love that.
We're gonna conclude this whole rumor thing with we love Dolly Parton.
That we do,
and we don't care if she wears hand gloves or not. But you know what happened this week that we don't like, and we gotta get back into this stuff because for the past couple of weeks we didn't really touch on what's been going on in the pop culture and the shade. And we've got I want to say good one, but it's not because we just talked about how much we do not like when people are negative about people wanting to start going to the gym in the new year.
No, we do not. That is, to me, that's, I don't want to say scum of the earth, but scum of the earth.
And you know what? I agree. And Equinox did exactly what we said. Pisses us off. Because they made a post, I guess they deleted it, but they did a little post saying that they were not accepting new members on January 1st.
But you know what? We have screenshots of that.
We do, and they will be inserted here.
Because it's nothing without the receipts.
Exactly.
Pointing in the air at it.
It's here somewhere. And they posted something along the lines of, we don't speak January. We're not letting new members join today.
Who says that? Allegedly, who says that?
I don't know. I saw the actual thing of the guy. People had screen recorded. There was a video, and I don't know if he was affiliated with Equinox or he was just being a gym snob, as you would say. He was working out in the gym and was like, when you remember, Equinox doesn't let new members join today. And he was like all happy because he got to work out with like nobody there. It's like, it looks like they need business to me.
Yeah, they absolutely do.
But whatever. So they did that to start off the new year.
It's not very nice.
Not a good look. Not a good way to start the year.
It's not cute.
But also, I've seen a lot of predictions for pop culture this year. What's going to happen? Who's going to make some Equinox level mistakes, maybe? Who's going to, date per se? I saw you wrote one down that you saw.
I did. I saw specifically that our homeboy, Mr. Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
May date.
We talk about him way too much.
It's like our friend now.
Ridiculous.
He may date Kim Kardashian, according to
some predictions
that we've seen, and I could see it. She's been known to date an athlete or two. Do
but
the fans like it?
Didn't she just go to a football game and get booed?
Yeah, the fans don't like it.
I don't know how the NFL will receive that. But also there's predictions that Rihanna's going to have an album. Kind of NFL related because she's doing the Super Bowl.
True. And we can only hope.
But for our own predictions, I'm thinking that Just a Little Shady is going to start having guests on this year.
That's crazy.
That's a prediction.
It's out there.
We're putting it into the universe. Also, I think that Twitter is going to, it's already kind of on a downfall, but I think it's going to be solidified this year.
Nobody goes on Twitter. Nobody goes on Twitter except for my boyfriend, Brian, and he doesn't have social media. So
that explains that.
It's not going places.
That explains that. I don't know anybody who uses Twitter really. But it was a big platform. I feel like there is still like a sub group of people that use Twitter. It's kind of like, have you ever used Reddit?
No, but I've heard
a lot about it.
Reddit is a dangerous place.
Really?
I mean, that's what the people in Bachelor Nation say. Never read Reddit.
See,
people are evil on it, I think.
Okay, I believe that. I'm never going to go on it. I don't plan to, but I know that that's a whole like another universe that I've never been a part of, but I know exists.
Oh, yeah.
It's large.
Scary.
So it could be like that. Also, TikTok. I was kind of torn on this one. What do we think is going to happen with TikTok in 2023? But originally, my first thought was like, I've heard so many things about it getting banned or restricted. And you even said today that you've heard a lot of schools are, if you are using their Wi-Fi, you cannot access Twitter on their Wi-Fi. Again, like you said, that's just going to make people want to use it more.
Yep.
That's not going to help the problem. But I was thinking more along the lines of how Apple threatened to remove Twitter. Would Apple threaten or remove because they had to? I don't know what the government is up to anymore. But if they had to, would they remove TikTok?
What the government's up to these days?
Who knows?
You never know what the government's up to. I think TikTok still has a few good years left to it before we see it disappear.
Okay.
I mean, and maybe that's just me speaking for myself and for my hopes and dreams that TikTok will remain, incredible. I don't know.
I do obviously love my TikTok, and we talk about it like it is the news. However, this morning, I literally said to Evan, I was like, we have got to stop this. It is out of control. I came downstairs with phone in hand on TikTok. Like, first thing when I woke up, I walked down the stairs. I was on TikTok, walking down the stairs. Couldn't find Evan. I peek in. He's on TikTok just sitting there. And I'm like, we are not even in real life anymore.
Scrolling problem.
Okay. Everybody does,
I mean, I do too. I'm trying not to get on my phone for the first hour of the day. It's hard.
Yeah. It's definitely a resolution that we should both look into here because it's bad. I also feel like this year, because we just talked about GPT, the AI that was open to the public. It's kind of like the first time that that's happened. I feel like there's going to be so many more things that like AI related that come out this year. And I also feel like businesses are really going to start using it.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that it hasn't been monetized yet. But this year, I'm sure that's the next big thing is it's going to be monetized in some way, shape, or form.
Well, when ChatGPT came out and it grew so fast, so quickly, people were thinking that they were going to start charging like immediately. Obviously, that didn't happen. I feel like now it kind of dwindled down. Like the excitement of it's over.
Yeah, people tried
but it. But in so many other ways, I think it's going to come back this year.
Oh, yeah. It'll come back in a big way.
Also, though, I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't know if this is a bad thing. But speaking of AI and technology, I saw an article, a real life article, not a TikTok, about
crazy.
I know that's weird.
It's an article in itself.
How facial recognition at Radio City Music Hall stopped a woman from going in and taking her daughter to the Rockettes because the camera recognized her as a lawyer who's in litigation with the parent company that owns Radio City Music Hall. So they literally did not allow her in because of facial recognition.
More alarming is that's not a place that I would ever suspect to have that level of technology.
I mean, in a way, it does make me feel a little bit safer, I guess. Mm-hmm. But then my next question would be like, how large is this database, and where are there specific people that they're looking out for? And like in this case, why? What does this lady seeing the Rockettes have to do with their litigation? I mean, yeah, the company owns it, but is it with the Rockettes? Is it with Radio City Music Hall specifically? Because if not, then why does it matter if she takes her daughter, who the whole Girl Scouts flew to New York to go see the Rockettes?
Poor Girl Scouts.
And she didn't get to take her daughter in. I just feel like that makes you think of like, where else has this? Like, I could see it obviously being at the airport.
It's got to be at the airport.
But in a place like that, now it makes you think like, where else is this?
Everywhere.
And who's on the list, but also who isn't on the list, because everybody who has an iPhone uses Face ID. Mm-hmm. So do they use that?
Probably.
That'd be the easiest database to take it from. So yeah.
Perfect.
A little sketchy. Woman was barred. So due to technology. Also barred was a lot of people traveling using Southwest Airlines.
Dude, it was so bad. Luggage everywhere.
Yeah, so the airports looked chaotic. I saw videos, but then I was like, I want to look this up to see how bad it really was, because it felt like it was going on for so long. Mm-hmm. So Southwest Airlines in December canceled more than 60% of their flights. It was the largest, most expensive crisis in the history of airlines.
That just seems unreal, like unfathomable.
More than 15,000 flights were canceled. And obviously that sucks for people who were trying to travel over the holidays. But in the least complicated terms that I can think to explain why this happened, and specifically for Southwest, because a lot of the airlines were obviously affected by the weather.
Right.
But immediately were able to reschedule flights. Well, Southwest is the only airline, I think, in the U.S. that doesn't have hubs that they travel out of. So basically every other airline has hubs where their planes and their crew are located out of. So a lot of times that's why when you're flying, you'll have to stop at like a city and then fly to wherever you're going.
Yeah.
Southwest doesn't do that. So they were not able to locate their planes or their crew that were available that were not affected by the weather as easily as everyone else and start rescheduling. And so there's actually, I think, there was like a chart that I saw, and basically by the end of December, everybody else's flights were maybe like 2% of flights were affected. For Southwest, it was still like 70-something% of flights were still affected.
It's wild. It's wild to me because I literally saw a TikTok a week or two before all of this went down saying that Southwest was the best airline for that exact reason, because they didn't use hubs, because they had planes stationed at all of these airports and crews stationed at all of these airports. All other reasons, but seems to be also
not a good downfall. Thing. Yeah. I mean, they did say that for them, it saves them money, and that's one of the reasons that they do it, but it's a very like out of date system, because obviously when stuff like this happens, now you have this domino effect leading into the whole month. And now it's like all those people who were affected probably aren't coming back.
Oh no.
So
one thing that will get people mad, canceled flight.
Yeah.
Canceled vacation.
And I think people too were saying like they offered them a $10 voucher, and it's like these people are in the airport for days stranded.
That gets you what, 2 water bottles in an airport?
Not even.
That's insane.
Maybe one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was absolutely chaotic. And then another thing this week that was a little bit chaotic, Netflix released a show called Kaleidoscope that can be watched in any order, except the last episode needs to be the episode titled White, which I didn't know this until kind of looking it up, because I saw so much about it, but then I was like, I need to know more about this. How the hell does somebody write a full show that can be watched in any order. I just feel like that's got to be a very difficult task.
Mm-hmm.
So each episode is named after a color because, you know, like a kaleidoscope is like that colorful thing.
That just hit me.
And so actually, though, what I didn't see anywhere else until I was really trying to dig in was that each episode named after the color in the episode, it's hued that color.
That's so clever, yet so simple. Like kaleidoscope,
colors,
hues.
Yes.
What?
And so now I'm going to be really paying attention because I started the yellow episode, but I didn't really notice. Like, it wasn't in your face. So now I'm going to be paying attention like, oh my God, this whole episode is in a yellow hue. And so now it's with each episode. And so this was kind of chaotic to me, though, because I like want to be told what is the best order. So I actually found some people who gave what they thought were the best order to watch it in and also the chronological way to watch it because it is all based in time frames. So it'll say like 2 weeks before and it's all based around a heist of something. So it'll say like 2 weeks before the heist or 3 weeks after the heist or whatever. So there's a chronological order that you can watch it in. Obviously, that's not the way it's meant to be watched. And then there's somebody who wrote an article saying, like, this would be the best way to watch it in, like, where it would still make sense, but not, like, totally ruin it. Yeah. So I'll give those. So if you don't want to hear that, because I feel like once I saw this, I'm going to want to watch. I can't unsee it. I'm going to be, like, inclined to click the best order. But there's 5,040 possible combinations of ways to watch the 7 episodes. And because the first 7, if you do stay true to what they said, to watch the white episode last. But Netflix gives it to each person, not each person because there's only 5,000, there's millions of users, but Netflix will give it to you in the way that like you could watch it. So if you just turn it on, hit play next, there's a high possibility that my recommended play next is going to be different than yours.
Interesting.
Yes. So supposedly the chronological way to watch this is violet, green, yellow, orange, blue, white, red, pink. But according to Vulture writer Keith Phillips, the best way to watch it, and this is so that you like introduce the characters, see flashback episodes, see the aftermath, and then watch the white episode last, is yellow, violet, orange, green, blue, red, pink, white. And I was actually really happy because it just so happened before I saw this, I started it last night.
Did you?
And it gave me yellow first.
So you're already on the right path.
I'm on the right path. But I feel like to truly see if this works in the way that it's supposed to, that like, will this really make sense to me and you?
Yeah.
And will we both like it if we watch it in whatever order it gives it to us?
I will start this, and I want to start with pink first. I just feel like if I didn't know anything, I would have picked pink to watch first and then see where it takes me from there. And we'll reconvene. We'll talk about it.
Okay. We will readdress this homework.
Oh, homework.
Next episode. But yeah, that kind of concludes what's been going on this past couple weeks, I would say, because we really took a break. And we also took a break from the Shady stories. So let's get into some Shady stories. Shady story number 1. There was this girl that this boy was in love with, and they started dating. The boy decided he was into this girl and wanted to move in with her. But when he moved in, the boy was very observant of the patterns of this girl. He would leave for the weekend to visit his parents, and she would turn on the porch light every time he left the house. So the boy installed a secret video camera in the front of the house one day and found out that the girl was turning on the porch light to signal the next door neighbor to come over. The girl had been deceiving the boy the whole time.
I don't know why, but this gives me very much so Gatsby vibes. Like The Great Gatsby, where there's the green light at the end of the dock and Gatsby's flashing it to signal Daisy to come over. What is this?
Well,
1920s?
The way that I read this, it was like I don't know. Something about this kind of felt like an AI wrote this.
No, it does kind of sound like that.
So like, I didn't know if this was a true story, and I was like, this seems very not realistic for the time. Like you said, it's like almost like Gatsby. Like, you're gonna turn on a light. Like, why don't you just text them? But I guess if we want to play into like maybe this could be true, like a real scenario. Yeah, maybe you don't want like the text proof or like
no receipts.
No receipts. But I guess the camera kind of ruined it. And you wonder now, like, what gets caught on Ring cameras for real?
So much. Like, life is so different now with everyone having camera surveillance system in front of their house.
No more ding dong ditching. No more egging. No more toilet papering.
It's probably a good thing.
I guess those were all like really negative situations.
Yeah,
but, like,
every one of them.
I guess, yeah. Like, if you don't want to be caught, you're not doing anything good. So
that's true.
And that's the moral of that story. No, so out of a scale of 1 to 10,
I think it's a 6, just because Gatsby has a special place in my heart.
Okay, I would say this is like a 5 out of 10.
Not wrong. Shady story number 2. The story may be labeled as a revenge story, but I think it'd be still fun to tell. Remember your first love? Well, I do. We were going out almost daily after school, cute tiny dates and all, and it lasted for just a month. There was a "I want to tell you something" from him that had been innocent back then, and I thought he was really going to shoot the "I love you" line. So I got ready to reply, and he ended up breaking up with me for another girl. He had a crush on her before he knew me, and it was supposed to be his chance to be with her. Fast forward to last year of high school. The girlfriend cheats on him, and he is heartbroken and realized that I was better for him. Me being petty and revengeful at the time, I still never got to say that "I love you." Insert face tear here. I agreed. I played the best girlfriend role for exactly a month. Then I broke his heart just like he broke mine. He did tell me the long-awaited "I love you," and that was my signal to break up with him. Petty and revengeful, or just a bitchy move, I'm still proud of that, mainly because he still to this day hasn't forgotten it or forgave me.
You know what I immediately thought of?
What?
When she said she basically got back with him, waited exactly a month for him to say "I love you."
Uh-huh.
John Tucker Must Die.
Stop it. That's the best movie I've ever seen.
It was such a good movie, but this is exactly the vibe from this. So if you've never seen John Tucker Must Die,
so good.
It was such a good movie. And he was dating 3 girls.
Yeah, something like that. Three.
And he was dating all 3 girls at the same time. And they all found out. But instead of just breaking up with him on the spot, they all decided to stay with him, make him fall in love with this new girl, like really like her. And then once he finally was really into this girl, they all confronted him and broke up with him at the same time.
It's crazy. And this is where I got my love for shady stories, I feel like.
I think so too.
It's that long game revenge that just, there's nothing like it.
It's so good.
I've got to play the long game
again. Oh, yeah. Definitely putting it on now after this, because I kind of forgot about it. And then as soon as I heard this, I was like, yes.
I feel like that's my favorite throwback movie.
Yeah.
Like over Mean Girls. And Mean Girls is incredible, but I think I like John Tucker Must Die better.
We were definitely watching it at an age where, like, I don't even know if we should have.
Probably not. It was not great for our minds.
But it was so good. It was definitely the 10 out of 10 for this story, 10 out of 10
Absolutely.
for that movie. So, what a good way to end it. That was a great story. And that kind of concludes this week's episode and the first episode of 2023. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.